Oh, yes. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast vs. Play episode 63. I'm Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who knows video games don't cause violence, they prevent it. So now, whenever he sees a turtle, he chucks it off the nearest cliff where it can't hurt anyone. It's only Dan.
Mario, nice.
Mario! Because you're a plumber. An Italian.
That is also true, yeah.
You've always been Italian.
Since I was born.
Exactly. Would you like some news, Mr.
Yes.
Mario?
Hit me with some news.
This is something we actually spoke about yesterday. Batman Arkham PS4/Xbox One Remaster maybe has appeared.
Well, it's not one that we actually said we think would be a remaster, but I guess it's one of the ones that does make sense.
It was rumoured.
Yeah.
And apparently this little bit of evidence was leaked onto NeoGAF from some random survey that was sent to him. Basically, it just says it's Rocksteady Studios is working on an upgraded version of Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham Knight. Although, I'm pretty sure that should say Arkham City. Fuck you, NeoGAF.
Yeah.
As Arkham Knight isn't out yet.
No, but it also wouldn't make any sense for them to do Origins either. So it would just be...
studio, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So it would just be 1 and 2.
Yeah, Asylum and City. It mentions that these will be more than mere texture bumps, as it's, quote, rebuilding both games from the ground with upgraded models, environments, lighting, shaders and post-processing effects. Both titles will also come with all their respective DLC. And then the survey just goes on to ask the recipient about the interest level, as well as showing some concept arts for the boxes, and then some names for the collection. None of which I'm particularly fond of.
Well, I thought Anthology is usually quite a good name, but as there's only 2, it's not really an anthology, is it? If it was 12, like you can have an anthology of Bond films, that's fine.
Yeah.
But an anthology of 2 games.
Two games doesn't make sense. But that was one of them. And you had Batman Absolute Arkham, Batman Arkham Legacy, Batman Arkham Masterpiece Collection, Batman Arkham Remastered. I'd probably go with Absolute Arkham, if I'm honest, but...
No, I'd say probably the last but one that you just said. I probably forgot what it was.
The Masterpiece Collection?
Yeah, because then now they've said, yeah, it was a really good game, but we're going to just polish it off to what we wanted it to look like.
What?
So it's now our masterpiece.
Nothing to do with Batman, but it's something my friend was on about the other day, is that Square Enix should do a Thief collection.
What, the original ones?
Yeah, and maybe include the last one. But they should call it the Master Thief Collection.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
But if they were like a funny parody kind of game, then yeah, that would totally work. But like, because Saints Row obviously did... what was it called?
Gat Out of Hell.
No, Gat 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like GTA 5.
GTA 5.
Yeah, like they can get away with it and it's funny,
Yeah.
but if you've
That
got,
makes sense.
quite a serious license, then there's not really much point in trying to do funny names with it.
Especially if they're not going to include some DLC where you can dress in a Master Chief suit.
Yeah, that would make
phenomenal.
sneaking about a little bit harder when it's just sort of clunking around.
I'd play it still, V8.
Yeah.
Moving on, some good news, Dan. A member of the Lizard Squad has been arrested.
Oh, is this one of the knobheads who shut down, like, everyone's everything?
Pretty much, yeah. A 17-year-old Canadian teen has pleaded guilty to 23 charges of relating to online harassment. The teenager, who cannot be named due to his age, appeared in court to face charges of public mischief, criminal harassment and extortion. He identified himself as a member of the hacker group Lizard Squad, and many of the acts he perpetrated can be classed as swatting, which obviously is illegal. So, it's a very, very, very long article going into a lot of the stuff that he's done. I've picked out a few of my favourites.
Okay.
He would contact online gamers, many of which were League of Legends players, by sending them friend requests. If they declined, he would shut down their internet access, post their personal information online, and call them repeatedly late at night. It's a nice chap. He would also contact the police in his victim's area and tell them he was holding a family hostage, had weapons, or had killed someone in the house. Other activities including ordering SWAT teams to a location, demanding a ransom of $20,000 and threatening to kill law enforcement officers if they interfered. In one particular case, a young woman had rejected him, was forced to drop out of a semester at the University of Arizona as a result of anxiety caused by his relentless pursuits and threats. He also called the Tuscan police to her home by claiming he had shot his parents with an AR-15 rifle, was armed with explosives, and would kill the police if he saw marked vehicles.
He's 17.
Yeah. Which makes more sense with the following statement, where he bragged about his events on Twitter, and he also streamed himself doing it.
Streamed himself doing it?
Yep.
See, now I've heard of swatting with people doing it against live streamers. Like the goal of it being, obviously, that they're in the middle of a live stream and then the police just burst through the door.
Yeah.
So I don't get the point of any of it, to be perfectly honest, because it just doesn't make any sense, other than get yourself in a lot of trouble, which obviously he has done. I hope he sees serious jail time off this.
With him being 17, he's probably just going to be juvie. The judge has ordered psychiatric assessment of the teen.
Yeah, I'd say that's the first thing you'd bloody do, yeah.
And he's been reprimanded for, up to now, I'm guessing this isn't to this sentence, he's been reprimanded for 169 days.
Yeah, and on the 168th day he turns 18, and then they put him in jail for 15 years.
That's what I'm thinking it will be.
Yeah, definitely.
Related instances, in March, a 13-year-old boy that played Minecraft admitted to 3 instances of swatting, saying, quote, he felt wronged. In one of the 3 cases, he threatened to blow up a house with a hostage inside.
On Minecraft?
Yeah.
What's the... But it's Minecraft!
Maybe somebody's, destroyed something he's built.
So, that's the point of the game!
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I'd like to point out, this does not mean video games cause violence.
No, it just means that people with access to the internet, idiot people with access to the internet, will fuck you over.
Yeah.
But that you can say that of anything. I'm pretty sure that there'll be more instances of people stealing from you, or getting your personal credit card information, your Amazon account or whatever, and buying stuff, rather than people trying to send SWAT teams to your house saying that you've blown people up.
Yeah.
So I think it's rare, so it's quite weird when it comes along. And then everyone goes, well, it's video games. It's like, well, no, it's not the video game, it's the people who are playing it, end of the day.
That's the same with anything, though. Somebody could be learning to ride a horse and then they go and trample a crowd of people because they're a psycho. It's not the horse's fault. Horse riding hasn't made him kill people.
But the horse will get put down, though.
Unfortunately, yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Some good news, Dan.
Let's.
Can you wait for Just Cause 3?
Well, I haven't really got a choice in it, but yeah, I guess so.
No. Moving on then. If you can't, and you have GTA 5 for PC, somebody's made a Just Cause mod.
Right, okay. With the grappling hook?
It is, indeed, with the grappling hook.
Interesting.
It's basically exactly what it sounds like. It adds a special gun to the game that fires a grappling hook, allowing you to easily pull yourself up to high places, go flying car to car, etc. And since GTA already has a parachute, you can even recreate Just Cause 2's unique means of travelling across the map.
Interesting.
It'll also allow you to tether objects like cars or people to each other.
Oh, right, okay, so there is actually the full-on hooking thing, where you can fire one and then fire the other.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's amazing. The only downfall of it is the animation is not quite there. You kind of just zip manically the way you're going.
Yeah.
It works, and it works really well considering it's literally a mod. The modder, Julio NIB, said the ability to steal vehicles while standing on the roof of the car, hijacked helicopters while being hooked to them, and the ability to attach more objects all on his to-do list for the next version of the mod. So at the moment you can grapple onto a car and you can travel like that, but you can't hijack it while it's moving.
Well, either way, very good work by him. Well done.
There's a video up, and we'll put a link for the mod if you would wish to try it out. It's pretty good. I like it. I haven't played it, but I like it. Unfortunately, that's it for the news. Very, very slow week.
Wow. Yeah, pretty slow.
Not a lot has happened. However, as always, Dan, would you like something about Kinect?
It's been a while since we've had a bash on it, so yeah, why not?
Which ties in very well. Phil Spencer has said, "We're not abandoning Kinect." After they've abandoned Kinect.
Well, I think he means the development more than anything.
Despite removing it from the Xbox bundles, Phil Spencer has said in an interview, Microsoft has no plans to abandon Kinect, explaining that it remains a great part of the overall Xbox ecosystem. No, it isn't, because nobody uses it.
No.
And they've stopped pushing it. So, why would anybody use it?
Well, the main thing is it is always going to come down to there's not many third parties that actually want to make or limit a game by having a Kinect involved. I think BioWare with Mass Effect 3 had the right idea, and they just said we'll put in very simple hand gestures and voice commands. That's it.
Yeah.
You want to dance around, go and play Dance Central. But
did you use it after the initial wow factor?
I did, but only for Mass Effect 3, really. You play sort of your Kinect Adventures, and you play the Star Wars demo, and you're just like, God, this is awful. But like for Mass Effect, you just sort of like shout your like whatever mod you want on your gun or whatever, and it would just change it over or like activate buffs and stuff, and that was pretty good.
Like if you just press the button.
Well, there's like 2 or 3 buttons, so you can be like in the middle of a firefight and then just say like whatever your biotic powers are, and it will just woof, and you can just carry on as you are. So it's pretty good. It had its uses, but that was the only use.
Well, considering the Kinect, the Kinect 2.0, I think it's called, is a great part of the Xbox ecosystem, apparently. Spencer pointed out Microsoft have just recently updated its Upload Studio movie making app with a virtual green screen.
Boo!
And will continue to build functionality to make it valuable.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Considering Upload Studio is not really the best, it's not just editing, but just in terms of making a video.
Yeah.
I don't really see the point of it.
Not really.
If people are making videos with green screens, they're doing it on Sony Vegas and stuff on the computer.
Yeah, but they'll actually have like a proper camera set up and an audio, and they won't just rely on one tiny little box to do it for them.
So my question is, Dan, if Microsoft are to actually make a success out of Kinect, what do you think they should do?
What, to make it work?
To actually make it work and make people want to use it. Well, not failing that, make people want to develop for it.
Well, the key thing is that you can't just have one. If you had 2 or 3 set up at different points around the room, like a surround speaker system, that may actually work. Because it would, like, when you've got it directly in front of you and you put your hand out in front of you, the trouble is that there's no real depth perception on it. You can't tell as soon as your hand comes in front of your body as to where your hand is anymore. I'm sure they've probably improved on it on the Kinect 2, but the fact is that it will still never be as accurate. Whereas if you had like one above you to the left and one above you to the right, and it was sort of like mapping you, so like triangulating exactly where everything was on your body and where your hands were, then it would be successful. But it means that you'd have to have 3 of the little bastards set up.
Well, they have implemented more cameras and better cameras into this version of Kinect, but
yeah, but it is still just one, and it is pointing at you.
Yeah, there's still only one physical camera. Well, a couple of them strapped together.
I mean, there's a video that I saw a while ago of someone that was developing like a sort of a holographic. It was like a holodeck, really.
Yeah.
So it was like an Oculus Rift or something on his head. He had the backpack on his back with like the computer in it, and then around the corners of the room, or just a load of them anyway, there were Kinects above. and the Kinects would be tracking your movement, and on the Oculus Rift it would be generating a digital environment, and you'd be sort of walking around, but because of the the link between the Kinects and the Oculus, it sort of fooled you as to when you were going straight.
Oh, right.
So you could just sort of walk round corners and things like that. Maybe not like a 90-degree angle, but you could certainly like walk in curves, and you'd think you were just walking along a straight line. And like that, I think it works brilliantly for like tracking and stuff. But just one on its own, for what they think it is and what they want it to do, I just don't think it's got the ability to do it.
It's something, personally, I still think it's just an upgraded Wii.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a sense that here's your Kinect Adventures, here's like Kinect Sports, Kinect Fit, whatever the fitness one's called.
Yep.
And we've already done all that. We did it with the Wii, and it worked on the Wii because it was the first of its kind, and it was fun for like 10 minutes. But
yeah, and then they like the Wii Fit and things. You know, it was a useful peripheral.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a gimmick. It was just like, well, no, it sort of monitors your balance and
my girlfriend still uses Wii Fit.
Exactly, yeah.
She takes the with the Wii Fit U, it's got like a pedometer that's actually linked to the Wii U. So when she comes home, she'll like press a button and sync it up, and it'll come up and it'll go on her stats and stuff on the Wii U.
Yeah.
That's handy. I don't use it. I think it's stupid, but she uses it, and it's something that's slowly integrated itself into her everyday life.
Yeah.
Whereas Kinect, I don't come home and think, I'm going to play the Olympics or fucking whatever Rare are making. I really don't see a point for it. I don't see a point for PlayStation Move. I don't see a point for Kinect. I don't see a point for Wii remotes anymore, because we've done it. It worked. They didn't better it, and now we've gone back to the standard controllers for the next gen. So I don't see the point at all. When Project Morpheus comes out, I think it's going to be really good, but is it going to be better than Oculus? That's something obviously we'll come to grips with when they're both actually released. But Microsoft needs to fuck Kinect off and either get with augmented reality or virtual reality.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's if the Kinect sort of I think the only thing I ever used fruit. I think the only thing I used Kinect for was Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
Like, because you could just flail your arms around and just cut up fruit and things, and in that instance it worked. But it's because you knew it was showing you on the screen where you were.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was just keep your arms to your sides, whichever side, and when you start slashing or waving your hand or whatever, it picks that up. And it works absolutely fine.
Couldn't have been done on the Wii though.
No, absolutely. But that's the thing, that it worked for it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the best use of it.
Yeah.
But because I don't think that anyone can really develop anything. Like things like the gun stringer, like that. I thought that was an interesting idea. I was just like, it's sort of taking it a little bit differently. It's not just first person. It's not like Steel Battalion or anything. It's this sort of scrolling thing, and it might work. It doesn't. But again, it's if there was more than one camera tracking you, it could work. It's the same as the Star Wars thing. If you had multiple cameras on you and it would see where your arms were going, it would be able to sort of pick up and process 3 or 4 different angles with the delicate movement, and it might actually be you might actually be able to sort of actually aim where the lightsabers and things are going, rather than I'd still think for that though you would need like the PlayStation Eye thing, where you need like a ball or something, but you'd need like a tiny lightsaber. And when you aim that moves it on the screen. That's what they needed to do.
The PlayStation Move, I mean, it's still from Xbox 360, PS3 and Wii. The PlayStation Move was the better of the three. It was far more accurate, but nobody developed for it. But I think for motion gaming, as it stands right now, you need a peripheral.
I think so, or at the very least, like some kind of mocap suit.
Yeah.
So instead of watching roughly where you are and trying to figure out where your body is, if you just literally cover it in balls, so it knows which ones are on the hands, which ones are on the chest, which ones are on your knees and feet and whatever. So it'd be like a onesie kind of thing,
Yeah.
And then you can dance around, and then I'm pretty
Xbox
sure
onesie.
Oh, there you go. See, it sells itself, doesn't it? But that would give you a better level of access, I think.
Yeah, you haven't got to worry about throwing something at your TV because you're wearing it. So unless you chuck yourself at the TV, you're fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even a glove with the balls on. So,
yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if you hacked into the whole thing and got like a movie quality mocap suit, which has just got thousands of things on it, and you could somehow program it to pick all these different things up, then I'm sure you would have the best experience. But
yeah,
that means that you've got to spend all that time and money, and then you've got to dress up like an idiot. It would make more sense to have special facilities or something where you could go and you could spend like 30 quid for a couple of hours, and it would just be like one great big room, and it would just be covered in cameras and stuff, and you could just wave your arms about, and it would know what was happening, and you could shoot lasers at your hands and all that sort of stuff. Then it might work.
Well,
but just for sort of
on the gadget show, they literally had a massive warehouse, and it was covered with Kinects and all the cameras and stuff, and they modded PlayStation Move controller because it was the most accurate. With basically it was just a gun, basically, but it looked like a gun. You couldn't really see the PlayStation Move. And he had an Oculus Rift on, and he was playing I think it was Battlefield or something, but he was literally running around shooting because all the walls around him was one like sphere screen.
Yeah.
And they did it. They built it all and that, and he said it was like the best thing ever. And then at the end, like the other presenter Otis, like when he went back to the studio and they were talking to him, were like, "So how much was it?" And it was like something ridiculous, like £900,000.
Fucking hell.
Like it was something fucking ridiculous. And they're like, "Oh." It was quite funny.
But you would need a space that big as well.
Yeah.
Unless you can get those those little treadmill things. The circle ones that go in any direction.
I think actually that might have been what he was actually on.
Yeah,
because he could only run so far and then it'd turn him.
Yeah, exactly. So that sort of thing would be fine, because then you could just literally just run on the spot.
Yeah.
But that way you'd get your exercise, and you'd get because you'd be able to duck. There'd be sensors like in the handlebars a bit or whatever. So I think that would be better, but I think it'd be better on a more commercial scale rather than just for the general public to buy for the homes.
Yeah.
If you went to an arcade and there's one of these set up, they could probably make their money back, because it would be like laser tag or something like that. But instead of just shooting around, running around just shooting people with backpacks on, you would be these people on these treadmills. It wouldn't necessarily need to be a licensed game. It could just be
a shooter or
just general shooter. Yeah, exactly. And you'd just be running around shooting these people, and you'd pay 40 quid for an hour, for a group of 5 or whatever. I think things like that would pull people in, and it's a better use of the technology. So it'd be better to start on a grander scale like that, and then, like the light guns for like arcades.
Yeah.
They were always in arcades, and then someone made like a home release because they knew what they were useful for and what people liked on them. So when you port that to, a home version, people buy it and they know it'll work because it's just taken directly from the arcade, like Time Crisis and Point Blank and all that.
Well,
so if you made this as like a big open arena kind of thing, and then once people have got interested in it and people can get used to it, then make it smaller and then sell it for a sort of scaled down home version, that would work.
On a publicity front though, Microsoft have got a lot of shit in the last year or two because they're not for the gamers and stuff.
Yep.
Imagine if Microsoft went, right, we've got this idea that we've just thought of. We didn't listen to Podcast versus Play. We thought of this idea ourselves. We're going to basically build what you've just been talking about.
Yeah.
They stick it in an arcade. It costs X amount or something. Maybe not an arcade, but as good as. There's nothing more showing that says we're here for the gamers than taking people back to the arcade, because the arcades are dead. So something like that could get people to arcades.
Yeah.
Arcades would make money. Everyone would love Microsoft, and then they go, "Guess what? We've made a version for the house. You can play this at home. It's called Kinect." And everyone's like, "Oh wow, Kinect's amazing."
I do think that they've just gone around this the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm pretty sure that I saw sort of like things that were like in like a frame kind of thing, and you'd wave your arms around in that, and then that would pick up the movement, and it would cut ninjas or whatever. And then you see things like the Wii popping up, and it's just like, oh right, it's the same sort of thing. You just sort of, it picks up movement. I mean, the Wii is obviously the most basic form of sort of
yeah, definitely
tracking, because I mean, there's obviously no cameras or anything involved. It's just going off sensors, so it just picks up where the sensor is in location to where the receiver is.
Yeah.
That's the most simple form, but I think that's why it works, because it's just simple, but it works.
It's a case of put this in your hand, shake it. There you go. You know how to play now.
Yeah.
Nice one. Instead of setting everything up.
But he was a kind of a gimmick as well, because he was saying, it's you don't need a controller. You are the controller. Not exclusively owned by Microsoft. That's saying. But while you were doing it, you were getting fit, and then obviously it's just like, well, there's something in that. Then we could sort of corner the market on, interactive health gaming. So you run in and you're running on the spot, and you've got to shake your arms about, and then obviously the Wii Fit comes along, and you're doing your yoga and all that sort of stuff. So they kind of got the market on that, and I think Kinect thinks it's going to get the market on. You can sort of just you can just pull down levers, and you can just do sort of gentle motions and things, and it'll pick it up, and you'll feel like you're in this huge battle mech thing like in Steel Britannia. And the thing is, it just doesn't work because there's so much on the screen, sort of cramped into the screen, and you're just gonna you're in the middle of a battle, then you go to pull the lever, and it just thinks you've just pulled something else, and then you pop out the top of the tank or something, and you're just like, no, what the fuck are you doing?
See, that's where Nintendo and Sony did it right, because you had these motion controllers, but the Wii Remote, the PlayStation Move, they all still had physical buttons.
Yeah.
So you could swing your sword, but if you pressed A while you swing your sword, you might pop your shield up. Something, I don't know, something basic like that. But it worked because you could figure out how to do it without getting frustrated. Whereas, like, say something like the Kinect thinks you've done something else, that could cost you the level.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
My biggest observation, I could be completely wrong, but because everybody hates the Wii, and everyone quickly hated the Wii after a while, when Microsoft turned around and said, this is Kinect, and it was basically showing you Wii games, people just thought, well, that's it, they fucked it now.
Yeah.
And then when they put all the effort into Kinect and nothing paid off, that's when people started getting worried. And then when the Xbox One apparently needed Kinect, people were still worried. And they didn't reassure anyone. So I honestly think the best thing they can do is just fuck it off. Say, fuck it, we've lost this much money. Oh well.
We tried, we failed.
Yeah, let's think of something else. So something people are actually going to get excited about, instead of trying to force people onto this product that we failed to do justice, because it probably could have been a lot better. But they haven't done anything to change people's minds, and they just need to literally just say, bollocks, we fucked up, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
And then we'll try and meet in the middle.
I'm sure that there are people a lot smarter than us, who enjoy gaming.
Don't be stupid.
And I'm pretty sure that they can say, well, yeah, Kinect, it was a good idea, didn't work. The Wii, on the right sort of lines, it works but not very popular. However, we thought of this, blah, blah, blah. And then if you did that, and they go, oh my god, that's why don't we think of that? Like there will just be something that's innovative, that's new, and incredibly simple to use. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there would just be that one idea, and people would just say, why did we not think of that before?
It needs to be the new Wii, basically. Not necessarily motion controlled, but as you said, it was simple and it worked and it sold shitloads.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, it's gone down in popularity, but it's still selling now. And considering it's literally a glorified GameCube, that's pretty well going, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But they've been doing it since the DS, though. Like Brain Training was like one of the most biggest selling franchises ever.
Yeah.
And it's learning. It's not even hiding the fact that it's teaching you. It's a school in your DS. But everyone still bought it. I bought it. And they carried on doing stuff like that with like the Wii Fit and stuff, and until the Kinect version came out, the Wii version of Just Dance and stuff was probably like the best version, because you actually got up and it tracked you. The only difference being with the Kinect version, it tracked your legs as well.
Yeah,
I did figure out
the Just Dance thing though. I do think that was pretty good on Kinect. Only for the fact that it literally picked up the sort of general movements that you were doing.
Yeah, you had to dance on the Kinect version.
Exactly. Yeah,
you could just shake the Wii remote for the Wii version. I know, because I do. But
but there's like I've played Just Dance on the Kinect and things, and it is pretty good. You know, it does pick up where your legs are and where your arms are. But the thing is, because you've got to make sort of quite large gestures usually for most dance things. That is really too hard to pick up. It's when it's telling you to, just pull a lever, or pull your arm to one side, like when you're driving a pod race or whatever. It can't do that. It just can't do anything in depth. Anything on the 2D plane where it sees your arm go up to the left, it see that fine. So when you've got to move your arms one way and your legs the other to, do a bit of dancing on Just Dance, I don't think there's any issue with that. I think you can pick that up fine. If they had sold it as a dance-only peripheral, I think they would have been alright. If they'd have just said, no, we're not going to use it for anything else. You can use the voice thing for navigating on the menus and stuff, but it's just to dance about with, and then tied it in with whoever makes Just Dance or whatever. Have them at least share some of the costs of it.
Yeah,
that would have been fine. That would have made sense.
Yeah, this is basically a fitness device. You could
it's like the Wii Fit,
do the fitness and dancing and stuff. Maybe a couple of like tennis games.
Yeah, some mini games or something.
Yeah. Something simple, something that'll work, something that doesn't give people reason to go, this doesn't work, this is shit.
Yeah.
But
if they'd have done that and just said we're taking it on the most sort of basic route we can think of, just dancing, that's fine. It's just left and right. People, you can pick that up absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And then when people said we love this, we want you to make other games that use this feature, then they could say, right, okay, what would work? Yeah. Rather than just saying, here's like, what was the Rise of Nightmares or whatever it was?
Oh yeah, the horror game.
Yeah, and it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work. They should have got the interest in what it could do, and then for 2.0 figure out how they could improve on what they've already got, and what the sort of the market would be. What genres could they move out into? What else could sort of simple dance moves and things like that. Jedis, no, not at all.
Not unless it works.
No, because people want to do backflips. They want to use force powers, but they want to use a lightsaber. They want to use dual lightsabers. Can you imagine how a Kinect would try and figure out how to use like a double-bladed lightsaber? Wouldn't have a fucking chance.
The people are a problem as well, because their expectations are so high when they think about something like Kinect, and they're instantly squashed.
They expect it to be like the holodeck.
Yeah.
And they can just sort of move fingers and they think it will pick it up. If you can appreciate it for what it is, it's just basically you are just a wireframe. There's a ball on the top, there's a body which is just a stick, 2 sticks coming off the bottom, balls on the bottom, 2 sticks coming off your arms, balls on each end. That is what it sees you as.
Yeah.
You do anything but make those points of your body clear, and it won't know what the fuck is going on.
Because will it pick up hats and stuff?
It could do, but the thing is, if you're wearing something similar to a background colour,
that's what I was
if you're wearing a black shirt and you've got black behind you, it has real trouble figuring out what's what. But again, that's a depth thing
issue as well.
Exactly, but then when you've got, you take all these things into account, the actual space that you've got to move about in, lighting above you, lighting to the sides, whatever you're wearing, whatever the background is, all your furniture and stuff like that. for what it actually does, it's not worth it.
No.
The amount of hassle it goes to actually get a room set up, and then you go and play Just Dance for a couple of hours until you're knackered, and then just say, should we turn this off and put Call of Duty on? Yep, let's just sit down and just twiddle our thumbs.
Well, that's why whenever they show it on like adverts and stuff and demos and stuff, it's a massive white bright room.
Yeah, it's like a dance studio. Yeah.
Which is fine if the people that are buying it live in houses like that. That's fine. You got more money than sense anyway. You don't care.
Yeah,
but
then you can buy 2 Kinects.
Yeah, fucking mod them up, get them working properly. Have a whale of a time. Invite us round. We might like it, but
yeah, definitely.
When you only got like a 20 square foot living room, it's not a lot of space with furniture to jump around doing backflips and double lightsabers and stuff.
Exactly.
That it's not going to pick up, so it's not worth the effort.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, I really don't think that they've just sort of taken the modern household really well, especially internationally as well. I mean, I'm sure that everyone in America has an enormous living room, but the fact is that not everybody will. Some people will just have studio apartments, and they might think it's a great idea. But the fact is that when you're, like if you're my height, I'm 6'4", and my arms are pretty long.
Yeah.
So as soon as my arm goes up in the air, in most places I hit the roof.
Yeah.
Which means that obviously Kinect isn't going to pick that up unless I stand further back. The further back I am, the more chance I've got running into the sofa or the door or a wall or something. And there's just nothing you can do about it. You've just got to sort of hunch over and flop about like a T-Rex.
With me being like 7 foot, well, no, I totally understand though. I mean, I'm only like 5'8", 5'9", and I would have trouble in most, especially most British households at least. I would have trouble getting enough space, really, without taking furniture out of rooms. And when a lot of people who, don't really want to generalise, but a lot of people with Xboxes are usually like living at home, like people who want Kinect at least, and they're probably playing in the room. No way are they going to have enough room for Kinect. My friend's got Kinect in his room, and he literally uses it when he can't be arsed and he's watching Netflix, and he literally just like Xbox on and like Netflix, watches what he wants, and then Xbox off, and then goes to sleep.
Yeah.
But even then, how lazy have you got to be to not use a controller?
Well, yeah, but it does almost say, you've watched something and then the controller's turned off, and you just go Xbox home, Xbox home. No, Xbox. Oh fuck, forget it. I'll just turn the controller on. If it was like perfect accuracy and you could just have a chat to it, like that whole Project Milo thing.
Yeah.
If it was that good, it would be the best thing in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a reason why we never heard from that after that demo. It's because
fake.
It cannot do it. Well, obviously that was staged, but obviously they're saying this is the potential for what it could be. But I think that they really they realised incredibly quickly that it just was not that good. It could not do with what they were saying there.
No chance.
And that's what got me the most excited about it, is when I saw that and I was just like, you can just draw pictures and you show it and it knows what's going on and everything's interactive and you can just have a chat. It's like having like a virtual reality, not a virtual reality, a virtual intelligence, sorry. Like there, and you could just come in and go, I haven't seen you for a couple of days, how have you been? Oh, just working that. Oh, right, what's going on at work? It would just be, for the sort of sad and lonely, it would be a digital friend.
The thing is, though, if it was connected to the internet and it said, like, where have you been? Like, the first, like, when you first meet, it's like, so do you work? You're like, yeah, I work at Halfords, say. And then it'll do a search for Halfords, and you're like, oh, I know, it's a place where it fixes cars. Yeah, that's it.
They just do like a location search, like, the one on the A421.
Yeah,
that's the one. You go, oh right, yeah, the manager there's Ben James, isn't it? He's just like,
Xbox off. What if it could do stuff like that? That'd be amazing.
That's what I was hoping it would be. That's what they sold it to me when I went out and bought it. That is what I was expecting. And then I ended up getting Fruit Ninja, and that was it.
Project Milo, Fruit Ninja.
So, final question on the topic of the Kinect. Do you believe that there will either be a sort of a saving grace for it? There'll be one game that comes out, and it's just like it was made for this game. Let me finish. It could be a dance game that's perfect. It could be a Star Wars game that works, maybe. Or do you think that they will just say, "We tried, we failed"?
I think they're not going to admit they failed. They may suggest they've overshot their expectations, but I think they're going to do either an augmented reality headset or a virtual reality headset that will use Kinect. So the Kinect will pick up you, and you'll control it with maybe a controller as well, but you'll see everything, like basically virtual reality or augmented. But I still think it will utilise Kinect. I don't think they're just going to go bollocks, fuck it.
In that example, though, Kinect is pointless. There's no point in it being there. If you're sat there with a controller with a headset on, you're just using Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
so there's no point in having.
But I don't think they're going to just abandon it because they've lost so much money. And if they was going to, they'd have done it by now. They'd have just said bollocks, fuck it, like Sony've pretty much done with PlayStation Move.
I'd like them to develop some kind of like a feedback suit or something like that.
So like
it's just like
the power vest or something that you had on the PS1.
It'd be something like that. It'd be kind of like a overcoat or a duffel coat or something like that, or like just maybe something without the sleeves on. That would send it would monitor your heart rate and stuff like that. But it would also vibrate, like when you're getting shot, in like whenever you're getting shot.
Yeah, that's what the I'm sure it's called a power vest or something.
Yeah, but something like that. I think that would be something good, because with an Oculus Rift on as well, you get shot in that, and then your stomach goes, that would be good, because that would be sort of real time feedback. But you could have it in driving games, so it sort of increases and decreases the vibration depending on the surface and the speed and all that sort of stuff. I think for that, because it's something that you wouldn't be constantly interacting with, it would just be something you slip on, and then you could just play as normal. But it's like adding the vibration function to a controller. It just sort of adds to the experience a little bit.
The problem is if it injures somebody.
Well, I mean, it's not electrocuting them. I mean, it's just vibrations.
I guess it'll be no different than like D-box seating at IMAX.
Yeah, exactly.
Only wearing it instead of sitting in it.
Well, that's it would be for the people who can't afford to have a proper gaming simulation chair.
Yeah.
But if you just plugged it into the controller or something like that, and it charged through that, or it had a separate charge pack like the charge station things, something like that, But I think that's something that, because it's not something that would conflict with you actually being able to play, it wouldn't be an obstacle. It would just be something that's there.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot better received than something like the Kinect, where because of its limitations, it actually affects your gaming experience.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, I think something, if they just had it that was, if they just said if they just came out and said, we've got a microchip, you go into a Microsoft special store, they will implant this in your brain, and you
will like Kinect.
No, I mean, it would sort of like alter your senses, and you could smell whatever environment you were in. Things like you'd hear things inside your own head. It would.
What?
While
you're playing, or just day to
day? Yeah. No. I mean, Microsoft Smart Glass, Smart Brain, something like that.
So?
That would be a step in the right direction, because that's forward-thinking technology rather than something that that they've tried, it didn't work, and they just said, right, forget the whole thing. We need something new. We need something new to drag the kids in.
Let's brainwash.
Let's just put chips in them. Definitely.
I'm up for it. What is coming up on the channel, Dan?
I've got Elite Dangerous now. absolutely brilliant. I'm getting my ass pretty much handed to me on daily occurrences, which is quite annoying. But it looks amazing. It's enormous. I mean, they say it's 400 billion star systems to explore. They are not fucking joking. It is ridiculously big.
And you got 2 left.
So I intend to do a video of that at some point.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Other than that, though, we've got some more Peanut or Person.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do some Cards Against Humanity.
We are,
which is always fucking good. Other than that, though, I'd like to see some kind of content, Callum, but we're not. We're just not doing it.
We're not heaving in it, but we have big plans. We're going to jump back onto DayZ hopefully this week.
Yes.
We've got a DC PvP. What? I forgot what it was.
It's a PvP
DC TV show lowdown.
Show lowdown. Fucking hell.
Now that Arrow, Flash, and Gotham have all finished their respective seasons, so we shall have one of those. I think we should do some Minecraft, Dan.
Well, I've got a day off tomorrow. I'll see if I can fanny about. I've completely forgotten how to set up servers and everything, but I'll have a. You never did any of it. Shut up. But I will have a fanny about and see if I can get it working.
We also have some Everything or Nothing, and some Wolf Among Us.
God, yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know yet.
We'll have something.
Yeah, definitely.
There'll be at least 3 new videos this week.
Yeah, and where can you see those videos?
And you can see them over on the website, which is www.podcastversusplayer.com or .co.uk. Or, if you don't want to wait for them to go on the website, they'll be on our YouTube channel first, which is, Dan?
www.youtube.com/podcast versus VS player.
There you go. If you would like to, I don't know, maybe see a tweet about the stuff that's on the channel, you can head over to our Twitter, which is at Podcast V Player, sorry. And then if you like it and you want to tell us that you love us and you want to touch us while we sleep, you can email us at
playervpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go, we did it. One take. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, almost.
One game you're looking forward to the most, Dan, before we go?
Battlefront. Done.
There you are. Batman. Sweet. Peace out, homies.
Oh, yes.